Governor Nixon, I want to go back to something Governor Hassan said, because you are probably in the most purple state, if I could say it. You have a Democratic senator and a Republican senator. You have a Democratic governor and a Republican legislature. How do you think, both in Missouri and then maybe even in Washington, we can do things to end this sort of partisan poisonous atmosphere we have and work across the aisle to get some common sense things done?
A couple things. First of all, we do have, I have 2/3 of the opposite party in both the House and the Senate, so I get a chance to veto and they get a chance to override a little bit. So we tussle a tad every once in a while. So it's really important that we respect each other, because we are going to disagree sometimes. That's good. I think that, I don't mean to be overly simplistic, but I try to use the word cooperate instead of compromise. I think if you say compromise to some folks, then you think they're asking them to step aside their values. But if you ask them to cooperate and listen, sometimes you can make progress. The other thing is, I think that interacting with members of the legislature, at least for me, I do it outside the Capitol. I do it back in their districts where I can meet with them in a more relaxed setting, so you don't get this kind of pack mentality that gets going anytime you get in a legislature. And number 3 is understanding the great diversity of our state and trying to put benchmark value pieces that we can all agree on as the centerpiece of discussions. And then not being afraid to disagree. There's nothing wrong with disagreement. Really all a legislature is in Missouri on the House side is 163 people who are supposed to disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. As Maggie said, there's nothing, when it's bad to yell and to scream and all that sort of stuff, but if you can be calm and disagree in rational terms, it's stunning what you can get done. For example, after the horrific tragedy in Newtown, we decided not to focus on guns in Missouri. We decided to focus on mental health. Now we put 30 liaisons out in community mental health centers that are working each day. We've become the number 2 state in the country in mental health first aid. We've moved emergency rooms and police stations working much closer together, and we have avoided, I think, a lot of tragedies and are working to make long-term differences in lives. So if instead of saying after that we're going to have a debate about how many bullets can be in a magazine, but instead we're going to talk about what we can do long-term to make a difference, it allows you to reframe an issue that is hot in one zone and kind of come one off it and get people to disagree on that, but understanding that since what's happened, they got to do something. So we try to I said this before, being governor, to analogize to a pool game, Mr. Hickenlooper, governor, you never have a straight in shot. Everything's a bank shot, okay? It's just everything's off something.